Okay, everybody, can you guys hear me? Everybody hear me out there? Sounds good. How you guys doing? Welcome to our Zoom meeting where we cover the happenings of the Future Millionaires Club and the great things that are going on inside of our program. We have some good things to report tonight. Some of the programmatic successes, as well as some of the kinks that we've had in the program. We feel like we've ironed them out, and we're going to talk about that tonight. But you know how we always start. We give the credit where the credit is due. So I want to tell you guys a little story. You remember a couple weeks ago how I talked about my little kid in the backyard shooting his shot, and he couldn't make the shot except for the simple fact that his father lifted him up towards his goal, and he was successful. Well, this week in his high school basketball game, he's a freshman. He started on varsity, and he scored 24 points, and they had a really, really big victory. But what I always tell him is I say, Avery, don't trust the way you warm up. Don't trust if you have a good or a bad game. You always have to trust the work that you put into what you're doing. He goes up to the gym every night. He wants to shoot for an hour or two. Every day, at some point, he's working on dribbling. I say, don't trust the game. Only trust the hard work that you put into it, because hard work always pays off. And in this case, in his game, it wasn't that it was just a lucky game. It was that he's always put the work in, and the work pays off. The Bible says, in all hard work, all hard work, there is a profit. And so we want to focus as a team on working hard to get to the goal. If we put the work in, we will be successful. And I want you to know we have a team of people that are putting in the hard work, and every day we're growing and developing the program, because it is a dream come true to see 400 urban people and other people cross the goal of making their millionaire status. So that excites me. And so one of the major kinks that we ironed out, I want to talk about. Well, before we do that, I want to say, if you're getting your statements, and you are, I remember probably about 5 or 6 months ago, even the statements getting out sputtered because we didn't have a sufficient staff to undergird what we were trying to accomplish. If your statement's getting to you now, and I know it is, because we have a beautiful volunteer that creates these statements, if you think there's something wrong with your statement or you have a question about it, don't email the person that generates the statement. The statement goes to you and it comes to the main office. Call the office, ask to speak to one of the people on staff, and we will decipher what's going on with your statement. And that way you'll get accurate information and an accurate explanation, because the person generating the statements does not necessarily have the explanation. They're just volunteering because they believe in the program. So I just want to make sure we lock that in. Now, the next thing that we wanted to iron out, and this is a biggie for us, we wanted to focus on resolution for people that have information that they need or concern about the program. And so we've implemented, and we mentioned last week, we're going to implement the community coaches. And so we've done that, and we've established the hotline, and we put that in the Discord. Now, I'm going to tell you what the number is right now. The number is 814-340-1614. Now, if you have any question, any concern, you want to understand the process of something, if you call one of them community coaches, the word on the street is that within 24 to 48 hours, they will get back to you with the answer. And so today was really the first day that the coaches were out in the field. They fielded a ton of questions. All the questions were good questions. They called me already, and we've devised a plan to get the resolution to people or the answer. So if you have a problem, it is more efficient for you to not call me. You can call me if you want. I love talking to you. It is most efficient for you to reach out to one of the millionaire coaches, because what they're here to do is make sure you have the answers you need, the understanding that you need, so that you understand exactly what you're in, the program you're in, what to expect, et cetera, et cetera. And so one of the things we've ironed out is getting all of the names of the people in the program populating into our bank direct deposit system. That was a major undertaking because so many people, it kept triggering a fraud alert. We enter 5 more names, fraud alert, 5 more names, fraud alert. We'd issue a payment, the bank will reject 100 payments. We have to reissue those payments. So what the community coaches are doing, they're manually verifying people. So if you didn't get your 50-50 payment, everything is ironed out now. Now, you may be verified, you may not be verified, but the community coaches are in the field tomorrow. They were in the field today, they're in the field tomorrow and Friday, manually verifying people. So the expectation for people in the 50-50 is you will get paid by Friday. I want you to hang your hat on it. You will get paid by Friday. We've ironed out the kinks. Now, the payments that you may have missed that have gotten added to your account, if you want those payments, there's a process to get them. You fill out the form in the office. But right now, I want to start off by giving the community coaches an opportunity to speak. And I want to introduce them officially to you. And now next week, right now, we just have the one hotline. Next week, we will introduce the other hotline. And now you'll be having 2 avenues to have your questions answered. But the community coaches are Mr. Jeremy Salter and Mr. Roosevelt Benjamin. Now, if you're interested in joining the team and helping out and being a community coach, by all means, reach out to one of the coaches and they'll talk to you about joining the team. But for now, we have 2, and they're about to talk right now and go over some of the things that they're working on so that your experience on your millionaire journey can be better. So I want to give Jeremy and Roosevelt the opportunity right now to speak.
My name is Roosevelt Benjamin. I'm very, very pleased to be a millionaire coach. Me and Doc talked at length about, just going out in the community, helping this program grow. And a couple of things that Doc touched on as far as like the hard work that you put in through the week will help you through the process that we're trying to get through. I know the last couple of days or the last couple of weeks, we've been working diligently on the program as far as the deposit system. It has been a pain in the butt, but we are working through all the kinks and probably got all of them close to being worked out and worked through. And like he said, we did talk about today. We had at length. We talked, him, and Jeremy. We talked today about a process of getting the back pays paid. And the thing we came up with was on Fridays that's the original payday for the 50-50. So that's where we're going to stick with. The original 50-50 payday is on Friday. Now, Monday or Wednesday or both days, we will start issuing checks for the back pays as long as you call the hotline and verify the days or the weeks that we owe that's owed out to you. And that's ending with a Friday date, meaning don't put Monday, put the Friday that's owed to you. And we'll go and we will put between Monday and Wednesday, or if not both days, we will send checks to everybody via direct deposit. Each either Friday or Monday or Wednesday, we'll send them out to everybody that we owe, and it will be double checked, that we owe that date. So we will start that process as soon as possible. So that will keep a smile on everybody's face, and it'll let everybody know that we're serious about this program and taking this program serious and taking it to the next level. So that's my part on that. I'll let Jeremy speak on the other half that we talked about today.
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? Again, my name is Jeremy Salter, and I was actually in charge of today's hotline call. I think it went very well. It was seamless, and everything seemed to work very good as far as like the communication and me getting back to the people. So the goal is for us to be able, like Doc said, for us to have an answer to you and have your problem situated within 24 to 48 hours. So for example, I took a list of calls and texts, and I got all the information, all their problems handled via text. I saved everybody's name in the contact. So when I go into the office, I'm going right next to Doc, and I'm going down the list from the people that ended up contacting me, what their problems are, how many weeks behind, and what needs to be done to solve it. So I will tell you that it's going to be a good process from here on out. And then once everybody gets paid up to date, I don't think the hotline is even going to be that big of a deal for us, for you guys to communicate with us, unless there's, you know, like an issue of understanding the different programs. But I think everything will go well. As Roosevelt said and Doc said, we figured out the situation which would be best is, like, for example, you will be paid every Friday, but then the following week, for example, I know that everybody that has been calling, the majority of them has been like the November. So like right before Thanksgiving, there's been like people are behind a couple checks, and maybe some of them up to maybe like 4. And the reasoning could be because of the direct deposits or them not coming in and verifying. So that's what we actually want to iron out. So for example, we'll take the week of, and like he said, every week we'll have to have the ending trade week of. So for example, 11/4, we'll take all the 11/4s who has not been paid for this week, boom, set it out and get them situated. Then we'll have November, the week of November 11th. The next day when Doc will get in there, he'll go ahead and send those out. So I think the process is going to be well. I mean, we talked it over. Look, we're here for the community. We're fighting for you, because if there's a problem, I'm going to hear it. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to tell Doc about it too. Like, hey, you know, people are calling me, they're upset. They want to know what's going on. So we're actually trying to iron this out the best way possible. Get everybody paid up and make sure we can have a prosperous year coming in January 1st. Like they said, we're working diligently and getting everybody's information. And by any means, don't forget, contact me. I'll do whatever I can to get the information that I need via text. I'll talk to you, but I will have you text the information, so it's easier for me to have a communication thread. So that way it's easier for me to pull it up. I'll remember, and it's easy. That's pretty much the position. That's the job that I have. So, you know, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, that's going to be like the hotline time. You can call anytime. I will answer. It's part of the position, and I will get back to you. Text would be great, but if you want to call, that's not a problem as well. I'll go ahead and answer to you and get back to you, and get back to you with an answer for sure within 48 or 24 to 48 hours. I'm gearing more towards 24 hours. So the next business day, I will go into the office and take the list of calls, text, whatever, whoever I talk to, and get you guys situated.
Great. Thanks, guys. Listen, these guys are going to get the job done. They're working hard. Hard work challenges me. When I see somebody working hard, it always makes me want to work hard. I say, I want to be the hardest working man in this office, you know, but these two men, plus their staff, they challenge me. But you know what? I still think I might be the hardest working man in the office, but that's debatable. All right, so moving on. Let's bring this thing back to planet Earth. So we went from a cash system where the lobby was overflowing with people, then to a check system that was very complicated, and then to direct deposit, all within a short span. If I step back as an outsider looking in, I can clearly understand how processing 300, 400, 500 people in that transition could get a little bit of a traffic jam. But when I bring it back to planet Earth, I like to remind myself of these things. Everybody, for the most part, if you've been in the 50/50 program, now if you've been in there for a while, not if you've been in there for a month or two, but if you've been in the 50/50 program, you have probably gotten your money back 5 or 6 times over already. So let's say a guy put in $3,000, he's probably already gotten back 15 to 21 to $24,000. The guy that put in 5, he's probably already gotten back $30,000 or $40,000. So I want to iron out this problem while at the same time making sure people remember, because it's good to all have gratitude, not to me, but gratitude for the blessings in your life. Remember, I'm a guy that put $2,000 in and I've already gotten back 14, 16, 18. So, and I hope that gives you just a little bit of patience And I think it has, as we were ironing out the kinks. So now when things kick back into full swing, you can remember, hey, this program's been good for me and you've been good for the program. It's a two-way street. So some things I want to emphasize every week, just to be sure. I know a lot of us understand this, but in case you don't, I want you to understand the power of investing. So if I take, and I've said this before in this meeting, if I take my $10,000 and I put it under my pillow, the value of that $10,000 depreciates over a year because it cannot keep pace with inflation. So my $10,000 under my pillow has the purchasing power of, let's say, $9,200 at the end of the year. So effectually, you've lost 8 or 9% of the value of your money. If I take my $10,000 and I put it in the bank, at the end of a year, the bank rewards me for working with that bank, and they give me $20. And all year, they're taking my $10,000 and they're working in the markets and they're trading and they're making themselves incredible money. And the reward for me is, here's $20, okay? If I take that $10,000 and I put it in the stock market, if it's a 4 to 7% year, I might make myself $400 to $700. Mutual fund, maybe $1,200. In our program, if you were making, we used to have a high number, but we've changed our thinking. We don't want you to think week to week I can make this. We want you to think, if I put $3,000 in, if I'm in the 100% program, 4 months and 4 years and 4 months, I'll be close to $1 million. If I put 10 grand in 2 years and 7 months, I'll be close to $1 million. If I put that money in the 50-50, it takes twice as long. But rather than thinking week to week, we want you to start thinking long term, because that's part of the problem with a lot of people. We're so focused in the immediate, we don't pull ourselves far enough back to see the potential. There's something with money, it's called the opportunity cost. This is the opportunity cost. Let's say I want to go out with some friends and have an incredible night, right? And I'm just hanging out with my buddies. And let's say I spend $3,000. If I do that, I can come home and say, oh, it was $3,000. I guess I got to get it back somehow. But what did I really spend? What I spent was the opportunity that $3,000 can bring into my life. Because if I took that same $3,000 and let's say I put it in a future millionaire club at 3 to 5% a week, 4 years and some odd months down the road, that $3,000 could mature to $1 million or to $500,000 or even to $250,000. So I want you to get this in your mind. Again, if you need the 50-50, keep it. You need it. But every time you take money out, you're losing the opportunity that money can do for you. Yes, we all need money. We all spend money. So we need to take some of it. But keep in mind when you're taking money, is this opportunity something that I want to surrender? If it is, cool. But keep in mind that you have the option to make a decision on how to best set up your future, because the goal is not today, the goal is tomorrow. Okay, so we talked about that. So let's prepare ourselves for what happens in the markets after Christmas. So Christmas time, people are spending money, right? They're going out there shopping. But then the winter hits and it gets cold and people are in the house. They're not buying gifts for everybody and their family and their kids and their friends. So the spending slows down. When the spending slows down, the market slows down. When the market slows down, the opportunity inside of that market slows down. So when you look at your future investment, let's think, we're all thinking right now, 3 years up the road. If I look at everything week to week to week, I will have some very disappointing weeks. But if I look at my investment over the span of a year, I might have a couple months where I strike in at, let's say, 3% a week, 3% a week, 6%, 3%. But then I might have some months where it's, 6%, 8%, 9%. So, but when you average that out over the year, this is how we come up with the millionaire map. When you average it out over the year, 4 years and 4 months from now, you're across the finish line. So I'm challenging everybody to not focus so much on the week to week, but to really fix your mind on the end goal. Because if we can all do that, there will be better success, there will be less stress, and we'll cruise into that status, like we're in a nice Cadillac. But if we stress out and we focus on the week to week, we're still going to get there, but it's going to be like we're riding in a hoopty and it doesn't have great shock. So every bump in the road, we feel it. So I want you to think up the road about what your goal is and chart your goal. Chart your goal over the continuum of months, but don't focus on the week to week, even though you will make profit every week. I think everybody understands what I'm saying. So the community coaches, I think that's exciting. I think any problem that you have will be handled in 24 or 48 hours. So I just wanted to put that out there again. Next week, we'll release the other hotline number, just so that you have 2 avenues toward resolution. I want to go over something else I went over, because we're going to take a couple weeks off of these Zoom calls during the holiday. So I want to remind people, there are a few people in the process of liquidating. There are a few people in the process of taking a drawdown. I want to remind you the process, because sometimes people come to the office and they want it right now. I want it now. Where's my money? Well, let me tell you exactly where it's at, so you don't have to be mad at me. When you give money to the program and your partnership is with the program, we receive that money. It gets deposited in the bank. If it's cash, it's instant. If it's a check, it gets cleared when the bank says it gets cleared. When it's cleared, it gets converted to Bitcoin. When it's converted to Bitcoin, it goes to a Bitcoin wallet. From that Bitcoin wallet, it goes into a USD, United States dollar wallet. From there, it actually becomes ready to hit the platform. And when it hits the platform, it becomes something we can work with. Okay, now, when you request your liquidation or you request your drawdown, the reason it's not immediate is because first thing we have to do is go in there and make sure none of your positions are negative. Let's say we entered the position and we say, we think the market's going up, we think it's going long. But let's say the market goes short and it's going down, and you want your money immediately. That means I'm taking your money when it's lost value because the trade went in a direction we didn't think it was going in. Sometimes we have to wait for that trade to become positive before we exit you out of that position. If we don't do that, you can have your $10,000, but it might be at a value of $8,700, and then you'll be upset with us. But if sometimes it takes patience, because once it matures, now we can make you whole and give you your full investment. So once we exit the position, the next step is we move that money to the US, off the platform to a USD wallet, from a USD wallet to Bitcoin. Then you have to calculate the Bitcoin, because you're sending it in 0.17649 or whatever Bitcoin. It's not like you're sending it in a dollar amount to our Bitcoin wallet. Then from there, we have to convert it to cash into the bank. And from the bank, now we have to distribute the funds to you. So it is a process. Everybody in the office is working on this process because we have a lot of people in the program. But if you understand this process, it will give you a little bit of understanding of what we're doing, a little bit of patience, and you'll know that people are loving you and working hard because we are cheering for you to be a success. So I want to infuse that process in your mind. One thing, I think I said this before, but when I used to play professional football and I wanted a part of my pension in Canada, I was younger and I needed it now. And I think 59 days later, it came in. Now, I don't know what their process was, but I guarantee you they were not worried about me. They sent it when it was ready to be sent. But we're going to do better in that because we're going to really push to get it to you as soon as possible. But understanding the process is very important. Okay, so we're cruising into the end of the meeting. I want to congratulate everybody that was approved and accepted into the legacy program. The legacy program of progressive group of investors. Those people, I'm sure, are going to be happy. The legacy program is seeming to be probably the most stable program that we have. So everybody that got welcomed in, congratulations. If you're interested in learning more about the legacy program, by all means, reach out to the office or reach out to one of the coaches. I gave you a number that's out right now, which is 814-340-1614, and they can walk you through or talk you through the application process into the legacy program. I always want to thank the staff. I think they do an amazing job, from the enrollment genie, you know her name, from the VP in the office, you know his name, from the diamond coordinator, and on, and Dana and Erna and Jeremy and Roosevelt, and anybody that I'm leaving out, because it's a ton of us, but we are in there working hard for you, trying to make sure that your journey into a millionaire status is nice and smooth. So this is our last meeting until the new year. But if your direct deposit will be manually verified, expect it Friday. Set your expectation on Friday. I will send you information through the Discord about when we will reunite in the new year. I want everybody to have a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. And when we come back in 2023, we are planning on pouring gas on the fire as we burn toward millionaire status. I want to thank you guys all for being here tonight. I'm looking forward to talking to you.
Real quick, Doc,
year.
before we get out of here. Doc?
Yes, sir.
Sorry to get up out of here. So is there a way that you can go ahead on behalf of the community that you would be able to, like, put it in the Discord so they'll know, like, for the people that are concerned about their back payments, like when those back payment dates will be established. So for example, like we said, from 11/3 to 11/11, and then the Thanksgiving day, like some people are doing that. So maybe we can have it set up.
I'll explain it. And that's really a good point. In the Discord, we will be putting a calendar for January, because we decided in January we're going to bi-weekly payments. Okay, so that will be bi-weekly. We're moving off of the weekly payments in the new year. We'll put a calendar there. So I think in January, it's January 16th, and I think it might be January 31st. Those are the two payment dates, and both of them dates are on Monday. As far as people getting their pay, when you're verified, we could write checks to everybody, but we don't want to do that because it's more efficient for direct deposit. So when you're verified, and we will manually verify you, you will get your check for Friday's pay on Friday. And then we'll go back on Tuesday and we'll knock out one of the back pay weeks. So we'll say we're clearing up everything for November 4th. And most of November 4th, I think, is handled, but we'll just say November 4th. And then we'll say on Thursday, today we're clearing up November 11th. Then we're clearing up November 18th. And we'll step through every week to clean up a week or two that will drive everybody into wholeness inside of a program. And I think everybody will be fine with that. That's what we're doing because that makes the most sense. That's for the most people. And then if anybody ever has a special need or a special concern, or they need something out of their account because something came up, you can always come to the office and make a special request. So if you don't want all of your back payments, but you just need $1,000 or something, you can always come in and say, I'd like to take a withdrawal because I have something special that I need it for. So there are a million options for people to have remedies to whatever their problem might be. So use your options. But as far as us, we will step through the back payment, clearing it up 1 week at a time. So we'll probably try to handle the 4th and the 11th next week, and then we'll handle the 18th and the 25th and keep stepping through. If you requested it, a lot of people or a ton of people have not even requested it. But if you request it, we'll be quick and fast to bring resolution. So
Okay,
with
yeah.
that being
Thanks. I
said,
appreciate that. I
thank-
appreciate that. And I'm sure the community appreciates it as well. So if anybody, if they want to call tomorrow, they want to contact the hotline, the process is in order to get verified. So like, for example, today I took a list of people. I talked to them. I have the text messages and I have their account information. I will be sitting next to Doc. First thing tomorrow, going over this list of people that I talked to. Okay, Doc, I got X amount of people that I talked to, where he's going to sit there and manually go through the list that I get people contacting me about through the hotline. So then after that, the next day, I will be contacting you guys and letting you know, either myself or Ro in the future will let you know, boom, give you the thumbs up, you're verified, you should be expecting your pay.
Okay. And so, yeah, I think it's clear. I think they get it. And so, and again, whatever your concern or question might be, it might be about being verified. It might be you want to update an account statement. It might be you need a withdrawal, but whatever it might be, you just want to say, I appreciate you guys. But any communication or message you have, feel free to send it through a hotline. The hotline's there for you so that you can have access to the things you need access to. Okay, community, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the new year. Thanks.
Take care.